So I chose a film noir to do because, quite frankly, I grew up loving them. I chose it selfishly. I grew up on these films. When I was younger, watching films like The Thin Man, the snappy dialogue between the two characters. And then that progressed in kind of a darker story with noir, where the detective was sometimes a little morally corrupt. And kind of combining those two with our film. I knew I wanted a detective, and in ours, I didn't want him to be morally corrupt. So we were kind of hearkening back a little bit more to the detective aspect.
Bogart was the one that we had in mind. He's the archetype for that kind of character. Just a fast-talking detective, always seems to be sort of one step ahead of everyone. So that's kind of what we were going for.
Really, again, make us feel like we're back in one of the old, Sam Spade type of world.
I looked at what the general man or woman would wear in the 1930s and 40s because I wanted it to look authentic, but I also wanted to exaggerate some of the points just because it's a film noir, something a little more, just a little out there. Took my, on your iPhone, there's filters. So I looked at the noir filter, and I seriously went through the costume aisle and I pulled out different dresses like, this looks okay, noir. I don't like that lighting on how that looks on that dress. Let's pick another one. So it was a lot of going back and looking at authentic articles and photographs, but a mixture of using modern technology to get the feel and the look of a 1940s, 30s movie.
I had to go back and research a little bit about, what it was all about, the lighting strategies and the looks and the coverage. Everything about it was just a new learning curve just to try to replicate what they were doing back then.
I met with Natalie Gates, who was our production designer, and I said, listen, we have one location. It's got to be a cool set. It's got to be able to go 360. Natalie did such a great job with giving so many different angles and stuff for Marcelo to be able to work with lighting. I had a couple things I'm like, okay, there's a couple little Easter eggs that I wanted in there. One being the Maltese Falcon, and then the idol from the opening of Raiders. No matter how prepared you are not prepared enough. On the first day of filming, we had planned, I think, 15 setups originally. We got through 5. And that's because the first setup, I think, took something like 5 or 6 hours. It was crazy.
We all met at Denny's after shooting, and we spent maybe 3 hours just working everything around. We obviously lost a few hours, so we needed to catch up the next 2 days of filming, which was very difficult.
As a director, you sit there and you go, listen, I can whine and complain about it, or I can get creative. A good example of that is the second to last shot in the film. Gamble is basically explaining how he figured everything out. Originally, that was going to be like 3 or 4 different setups.
And I actually think it worked for the better because a lot of the shots that we came up with were more film noir than the ones that we originally had.
Being the first AD it was a lot to think about, a lot of different factors to consider when it's putting together the schedule, trying to run on time.
It's so many moving pieces, and for me as an associate producer, I got to make sure that those pieces were oiled well so they can move.
Coming in the second day, we were flying through the schedule, and it was really fun to watch our actors act under such pressure and under such time constraint.
It was amazing. It was so magical. Like, you go on set and it was just buzzing with excitement and energy. Everybody was there to work, there to make the movie happen. They were not only passionate about what they were doing, and everybody was unified towards one goal. They just wanted to make this project great.
All the students that were involved were really on top of their game. And
I thought the students did really well.
The professionals were blown away by the professionalism that the students brought.
Thank you so much. We couldn't have done it without every single one of you. So thank you. Let's unpack and get everybody home safely, all right? Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.